This is the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS show with John Impemba and James Grande.
Gotta hide. There we go. A little technical difficulty there, but we're back. We're live. We're here. Monday, 7-game DraftKings main slate. Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS show. John Impemba, James Grande, here with you guys, taking all the action for you. Grande, how are we doing, man?
Technical difficulties or clicking the wrong buttons, that's the same thing. But
those are technical difficulties. They didn't say how technical they are, but they're technical.
Technically, my fingers weren't working in the moment. Difficulties.
You're back.
Doing good. It's Monday. Tomorrow's Tuesday.
Kind of an interesting slate that we got going on here.
Yeah, it's a fun slate. I think there's some really good leverage on today's slate. I think there's some really good spots to attack. There's still some news to be, completed at this point. So yeah, it's a fun one. I'm looking forward to breaking it down.
Yep. Obviously, big totals here on the board. We have 236. In Detroit, Memphis. Detroit is currently a 4.5-point road favorite. We have 237, Sacramento, Denver. Denver's a 12-point home favorite. 235, Washington, New York. Knicks are 12.5-point home favorite. 233, Boston, Utah. Boston's a 10.5-point favorite. 236, Pacers, Bucks. Bucks 6.5 road favorite there. So a lot of totals up over 230 here today, Grande.
Yeah, so the offense is up around the league, so love to see it. Love all the offense. Just a fun slate. Bunch of back-to-backs today. We got the whole shebang here, John. It's a loaded slate from top to bottom. We got star players. We got a lot of people electing the fair and balanced build. I think there's a lot of question marks with some of the value today. I think we'll get into some value. Obviously, we'll talk value, but yeah, it's a pretty fun, balanced slate with a lot of things to still kind of shake out here.
Yep, 100%. So why don't we just get into it? Our top 3 price plays on DraftKings tonight are Jokic, Giannis, and Cade, up over $10,000 here. Cade at 10K is someone that you and I were high on this morning. If you guys checked out our new top 5 DFS video, that's live on Fantasy Time right now. You see Cade Cunningham in that video as well. Ownership, however, makes it seem like you and I are going to get a little bit of leverage if we, move forward with the Cade pick here at 10K. He's only around 10% right now. John Morant's 94, Jalen Brunson 88 is your top 3 priced guards on the slate.
Yeah, I think Cade is the one that stands out. And if we're just ranking them in that amongst those 3, it's Cade, Brunson, Morant for me. Not that I think Ja's a bad play, but the others just have infinitely more minutes upside. Ja's minutes have basically been capped at 32, while Cade got up near 40 a couple times this year. And we know, Jalen Brunson is always in that mid-30s range. Yeah, Cade stands out. Last 2 games, he has had 18 potential assists per game. That includes last game where he had 18 actual assists. He has scored better over the last few games as well. That's something that he I would say he just got off to an okay start, and now we're really seeing the Cade that we saw last year. I am very high on him, especially at the ownership. I think my guess is that we see an update and Cade's ownership spikes.
Okay.
But, we'll see, because Giannis and Towns specifically are getting a bunch of ownership. So that's 2 guys that are 8,500 or higher that's already getting a bunch of ownership. So I guess we'll see how the Giannis ownership fluctuates throughout the night. But yeah, anytime you can get Cade in this matchup, Memphis is a bottom 10 defense. They're 22nd in defensive rating, and they're 4th in pace. This is kind of all that you want, right? Up-tempo spot for the offense, check. Bad defense on the other side, check. Big game total. And then you have the best player that has the ball in his hands more than any other. He had, in the last 2 games, he's averaged 70 something passes per game and 80 passes received. That's multiple touches, like basically, like you're getting multiple touches every possession. It's just exactly the role you want when you're spending that dollar. So yeah, love Cade, John tournaments, Brunson, great spot. He's gonna see the Koulibaly defense. That's just what it is. He's gonna have a bigger body on him. Does that ever matter when it's
not usually?
Doesn't usually. So
because he's so quick. It doesn't. He just gets to where he wants to get to almost every time.
The footwork is just, he's a master, like just an absolute dog. So yeah, Cunningham, Brunson, Morant for me is how I'd rank that tier.
Next tier down, we have Murray. We'll see, obviously, with him in this matchup against Sacramento. Amin Thompson, 73. Derek White, 72. Keontae George, $7,100. Again, Utah on that back-to-back. They are 10-point road dogs here tonight. They got blown out last night, but Keontae George still played a bunch of minutes and looked pretty good doing it. Where are you looking to go? Are you looking to go with anybody in this tier?
Yeah, I think this is an appealing tier. Murray in tournaments has already given us massive ceiling. I love Amin Thompson if that game can stay competitive at all. Houston's the number 1 rated offense in basketball so far. So can Dallas keep it competitive is the ultimate question.
Yeah.
I've told you like 4 straight slates that Derek White's going to eventually make shots. 4 straight slates. It hasn't happened. It hasn't happened once. This is a good spot to do it. Like,
price keeps coming down, like the shots are still there.
Dude, we have spent on these airwaves. We could not have. I don't think we've said one bad word about Derek White for years. I've even gone to lengths telling you publicly and privately that Derek White's been the Celtics' best player for the last 3 years.
Yeah, usually he always kind of got his, and it kind of went around, and adjusted with the other players on that team. Yeah, I mean, listen, we haven't. I don't think I've said it yet with Derek White, and we say like waiting for him to have good games. He's had a 40 and basically 2 40 fantasy point games already this year while shooting poorly. Versus Utah is one of those like if not now matchups. Like if not now, like when is he gonna hit his shots? Right? Like,
when he's a Houston Rocket.
Yeah, when he's not playing for Boston anymore. Yeah, basically.
I mean, Utah's 26th in defensive rating, and they get Isaiah Collier back tonight. That's not going to help their defense. He's a smaller guard.
Yeah.
So
Derek White's the 3rd highest roster point guard tonight so far
because it's a great spot, and like he has a good usage rate and he's a good player. He just hasn't made shots. Yeah. We know he's too good of a basketball player and a shot maker for this to continue. So I'm very in on Derek White. Not my favorite Celtic. We'll get to that in a few because there's a low owned bald one that I maybe not as bald as Derek White. And the cover of the live stream, maybe in the future, he might be super haired, like not shout out Turkey, but yeah,
guy used to have a flat top when he came.
Did have a flat top. Did have braids last year. So I like White, and yeah, I think Keontae looks pretty good. Utah is tricky, right? Let's just.
Are you worried about Collier?
I mean, he's a pretty good player. And specifically, he's a point guard, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd assume because it's a hamstring that there's obviously a limit. But the one thing we've really liked about Keontae George is the role. Like the ball handling role has been tremendous. The potentials have been tremendous. The minutes have been tremendous. If suddenly Keontae George is 33 minutes or at 28, that's a problem. We're losing out on a full shift. I'm not saying it will. I'm not saying it won't. They played a lot of Keontae off the ball last year, so it's not like that he's or just as one of the 2 guards on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a I'm just saying Collier is a point guard. That is, in a positionless game, he does have a position. He is a smaller.
He's not a scoring guard. Keontae George more of a scoring guard.
So I'm not necessarily saying I am worried. I do like that his ownership has cratered.
Yeah. The
It
assist
is
numbers might not be there though if Collier's running.
correct. That and that's where, because let's face it, they could go to Taylor Hendricks tonight. They also might not, right? They could. There is 50 different iterations of a lineup that Utah can go. I think confidently we can say Larry Markkinen, Keontae George, and Nurkic are probably the three definites, and then it's anyone's guess from there. Like Svi's been starting this whole time. Has Svi just been a placeholder for Collier, and they start him on day one? So yeah, I mean the Keontae one's a little bit worrisome with the return. Joe, we have a lot of people in the house tonight.
We do.
Just throwing it out
Appreciate all of you tuning in. Let me say this. We do appreciate everybody watching. If you haven't already subscribed, which is completely free to do for the Fantasy Slam YouTube channel, we are currently 7 subscribers away from 10,000 subscribers.
Sick.
So if you tune into us every single day, which we certainly appreciate all that support, and you haven't hit that subscribe button, which is completely free to do, you get notified whenever we go live, whenever we post new videos. Again, brand new top 5 NBA DFS video launched today to answer the Prince's question. Do we plan on doing that every day? That's the plan. I'm going to do my best to do this every single day for you guys. You got to work the schedule, but as of now, that is the goal set forth. At the very least, Monday through Friday, just like our preview shows are, we'll get those videos out for you guys. Top 5 DFS, but we are 7 subscriber clicks away from 10K. It'd be huge for us to get there. Again, completely free to do, and we appreciate all that support from you guys each and every day. We also have the join button. If you want to join and become a member of the Fantasy Slam YouTube channel, that does come with some cool perks. You get question priority. If you want some start-sit questions answered, you get to jump the line, especially NFL Sunday. That is huge. We get hundreds and hundreds of questions in our chat on NFL Sunday. If you're a member, you skip the line, you get your question answered first. We have cool emojis, and we have badges, and we're going to be planning some other things in the future with our membership. So if you guys want to join for $4.99, you can click that join button, but you don't have to. Just the free support each day is immensely appreciated. And of course, we always have that QR code up in the corner, NBA 20 for 20% off the All Pro membership there. If you want to go All Pro at Fantasy Alarm, get all of our premium content, our best bets, our DFS picks, our playbooks, and all the tools and everything. You can join there as well. That's fantasyslam.com/NBA20. It'll auto plug in the 20% off coupon for you guys at checkout. But yeah, definitely appreciate all the support we can get from you guys here today, getting us to that 10K milestone mark. All right, where else are we looking to go point guard here, Grande?
Yeah, let's dip below. I think like DiVincenzo is in play. I think it's a little too pricey for me, but it's obviously an elite matchup, the best matchup. The one thing that tripped me up today is the Minnesota team total has really thrown me for a loop today. Brooklyn is the worst defense like ever, and they have 115 implied points. It's like not even in the same ballpark as like 8 other teams. That's kind of tripped me up today. I was way more bullish on Minnesota last night than I am currently. So I think that's.
So you think there's something maybe iffy in the waters there, or
I don't know. I don't know if he's in the water, but I just don't
like a late Randall scratch or something like that.
I don't know, dude. It's a 5. I get that Minnesota hasn't been great. I get that, Brooklyn's home. Second leg of a back-to-back for Brooklyn, and they're not really like the spread is like, I mean, it's 9. I don't know. 115 implied points just feels wrong. Brooklyn's terrible. But DiVincenzo in tournaments is fine. Pritchard's very easy to get to if you want to get to Pritchard. I think, another guy who's going to make shots. Russ, I assume he goes back into the starting lineup. They started Cardwell last game. He played one shift and then never returned just to see Russ play a boatload of minutes. No Malik Monk in this game. I know they ruled Levine and Schroeder in, but I think Russ looks pretty good at 6K. And then we're going to start talking like some pretty chalk plays. Ryan Rollins is getting all the ownership tonight.
Wrote up his PRA today. It was like 23.5, which again, he scored more than that in points alone in 2 of the last 3.
Ooh, Michael Porter Jr. ruled out. as of right now for personal matter.
Okay.
According to MPJ.
Well, now they have no shot. Does help the value though, I guess, right? You're gonna put the Williamses and Mans back in.
Oh, dude, yeah. Good luck playing anything. Let's finish our thoughts on Rollins and like other not Nets, and then we'll talk the Nets as we'll talk the Nets as a construct as a whole, so we don't have to do it again because I don't want to spend too much time talking Nets.
All right, then. Well, there's Rollins. Then what else you got to say about him?
I mean, he's super popular. He's like one of the 3 highest rostered players of the day, or he's top 5. He's had an incredible role. Giannis leads them in potential assists, but Rollins is second. Obviously, he benefited a little bit the last 2 games, right? Giannis sits out against Golden State. He goes crazy. Cole Anthony got thrown out of the Sacramento game. He plays 36 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying he won't, but 36 minutes happen in really perfect scenarios for him. I like the spot a lot. Indiana's just what they are. They are a scrappy, struggling team that is just trying to get healthy.
I'm surprised the spread is obviously higher, just because you look at star power, Giannis, and the team that's there. I thought this would have been a double-digit point spread, truthfully, but it's not.
Indiana's, dude. I mean, they
I know
the Warriors the other day. Like they came back against
with some like crazy ceiling performances from guys, right? So it's
sure. It's a Rick Carlisle team that is just scrapping, right? Sure. They're out there. It's like any team it's like a team you root for that stinks, but they like are always competitive, and you're like, I can get behind this team. That's like Indiana. Like they're just gonna be.
Ray J. Dennis will play today, according to Carlisle as well. So
okay, that's. We'll
would have liked that better for Jackson.
I don't know if it matters, but it does matter. Like there's obviously now probably a ceiling on Quentin Jackson. But yeah, I think Rollins is great. I think D'Angelo Russell is an interesting tournament play, probably just pivoting away from Rollins. I mean, there's an outside chance he's starting in this game, right? Just like
sure. I mean, you hit the nail on the head a couple of days ago, and you're like, they are dying for shot makers.
They just need scoring.
Yeah. And
every time they've basically extended D'Angelo Russell, he's done something productive. So 5,700, I think, in tournaments. Can't touch Collier. Can't touch Simons unless it's large field. Don't really worry about the Cole Anthony minutes last time. He just got thrown out of a game. Should be low 20s. We know he has a ceiling. The Quentin Jackson one is now the one we should talk about because, boy, he has been so good. And he started in back-to-back games. He's getting all the ownership. Ray J. Dennis has been available for these last 2 games. Ray J. Dennis even played 26 minutes in the Atlanta game.
Yep.
He only played 17, has the little back thing. The field is going to Quentin Jackson. I think it's like a pretty safe play.
I think it's crazy to expect 56 fantasy points again, but
for sure.
At $4,700, if he gives you a 5x, you're looking at 23, 24 fantasy points, like very reasonable to give us that sort of baseline, I think, expectation. But if you're plugging him in your lineup, I think you're going to get a 10x performance again. I think that's probably a bit much. But still, I'll say this. I'm also I'm not a little surprised, but he's only 35 to 38%, depending where you're looking at ownership. Did you expect him to be higher on this slate, kind of given what Indiana has and how he's performing? Like, does the price keep him under 50% on this kind of slate for you?
He'll be 60 in single entry. Yeah. Large field stuff, he'll probably be checking around 40. I guess so. I think it's probably a little trepidation knowing that Ray J. Dennis is lurking and like Furphy came back and there's 13 guys and we know, as good as a coach Rick Carlisle is, if anyone's listened to us for a while, I've called him the mad scientist for like multiple years because he just will like sometimes ride the. I mean, we saw it like a couple games ago. He didn't play Tony Bradley for 3 quarters, and Tony Bradley like played the whole 4th quarter. It's like, dude, he just does things his way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. It's a warranted, and like anyone that has trepidation here, it's warranted. But it's still like he's been really good per minute this especially if they run him out in the starting lineup again. I don't really have an issue going here.
Are you building any lineups with Cam Spencer in case Ja doesn't play today?
No.
Okay.
Tomas Ciasolo had talked and said like they're going to move past it.
Okay. Because the report came out today that like, they still weren't really on great terms. So
yeah, I mean, I don't know whether or not they're on great terms or not. They only suspended him for 1 game.
Sure.
They said we're suspending you for 1 game. He didn't play last night. He apparently put out an Instagram post last night saying "Go Grizz" right before the game.
Sure.
And I have no thought that he's not playing. I haven't even considered Cam Spencer once today.
Okay. Anything else at point guard?
No. I mean, the Knicks could start McBride tonight.
Sure.
In theory, no Mitchell Robinson. Josh Hart is questionable. I don't.
But
well, they also have Collier back. So what?
I was gonna say Collier's back now. Seeing me a blowout there.
Maybe the Kings go with Nick Clifford.
Sure. Would we fade Cade and roll with Brunson and Towns as a combo today?
It's a great spot.
Certainly,
it's a great spot.
And we can't trust anything with Brooklyn guards, right? So
no. Well, I was actually looking at it the other side. I guess if you're a large field tournament player and you're thinking narratives, Dillingham could be like 150 lineup kind of play.
Okay.
Is Michael Porter's not there? How does Brooklyn?
How do they score?
How do they score? I mean, obviously we know
60.
we're going to shooting guard, so we're going to talk Cam Thomas. His ownership is going to be one of the more fascinating things of the night. No, now that Michael Porter has been ruled out, Cam Thomas ownership, whenever the update comes, is going to be one of the more fascinating things of the night.
Yeah, it hasn't happened yet, but I imagine it's happening here shortly. So
I mean, he's 20% currently. What ownership do you think Cam Thomas ends at? I don't want to play a chalky Cam Thomas.
I don't think he moons as high as you think because he hasn't been a great per minute player, right? It's been like a point per minute, but like only scoring dependent.
He had that 1 game.
Yeah.
Where he had 9 assists and he hasn't had that total since. The rest of his games don't add up to 9.
I was gonna say, I don't know, maybe.
No, math is
no. I mean, like maybe he does do more today. Tyrese Martin is your highest guard, shooting guard that we haven't talked about yet, right now in terms of ownership. He's 33%.
Yeah, they started him. Yeah, starting him at. Do you want to just talk? Let's just talk Brooklyn real quick without Porter.
Sure.
I don't know what they'll do. I think the simple answer is Martin again at point guard, Terrence Mann, Claxton, Thomas, and then either Clowney or Zaire Williams, probably somewhere in that. I mean, Zaire's played the most basically off the bench, at least consistently. They could go to a traditional point guard and go Yegor or Serif. They're a nightmare. I mean, they're a nightmare because they might play. They could also just play 15 guys tonight. They're talking about how they're not trying, and they are. I mean, I know we've had a couple questions about Nets. I just don't see. Like, none of these players are Michael Porter.
No.
So to expect Zaire Williams to step in and have or Noah Clowney, someone we haven't seen really have any
to
success.
score like you hoped Michael Porter Jr. would score.
Yeah, and I know Minnesota's defense has been struggling this year. They're actually like bottom 10 defensively. But is that like a sustainable thing that Brooklyn can like hang their hat on tonight?
I was gonna say in this matchup specifically, like they're probably a top 10 defense no matter what they do in the
I mean, I don't know. Brooklyn as a construct tonight is just. I know you mentioned the Tyrese Martin thing. If he's starting at point guard or Terrence Mann again, like at least we're getting 30 minutes from Terrence Mann. Like those things are.
I don't imagine that goes away, right? Now, I don't think they get negatively impacted minutes wise from MPJ going down.
Yeah, I don't think so either. The only thing I could see with Martin was that they were just trying stuff and they started him at point guard and he didn't make a shot. So they're like, all right, let's try something else. You know,
and now they can just keep him on the floor and have him play like small forward and have someone else.
Yeah. They just bring Yegor. They have Yegor start.
Yeah, something like that, and give them because not only does this impact obviously what we do with Brooklyn, but we are both high on Randall. Randall is the cover, and in the DFS video that I put out, we've had a lot of questions about what to do with Randall now. I would imagine this total probably moves a bit.
It moved to I only see 9.5. It was 9 when I started talking about the total, and now it's 9.5.
Yeah. So I guess we'll see. I would think Michael Porter's worth more than a half a point, but maybe they just don't assume that this is going to be all that competitive anyway. Randall could also go out there and still get 40 in 3 quarters, but certainly impacts that a little bit more than we probably would have hoped.
Yeah, sure.
All right, what's the rest of the shooting guard position? A lot of these guys we kind of talked about. We do have Keyshawn George at 68. There is Cam Thomas, Mikal Bridges, Peyton Pritchard's ownership is up there. You talked Westbrook. Is there anybody new in this top half of shooting guard that you want to talk about?
There's just so much crossover with point guard. I do think it's worth mentioning, like Cam Thomas for me will just depend on where we end up with his ownership. Because if it doesn't spike, it's hard not to at least consider it, just because like instead of one ball dominant player, instead of two. Like, what do you think Cam Thomas usage rate without Michael Porter is this year? And I'll give you, it's a 50-minute sample. What do you think his usage is without Michael Porter?
42%.
Yeah, it's 40 on the dot. I mean, it's a monster number.
Yeah.
It's 1.2 DraftKings points per minute, 1.26, 1.17 on FanDuel. It's a really good number for a player that's $6,800.
I mean, the volume shooting, and he makes a lot of shots. He's been getting to the free throw line.
His path to success is getting Jaden McDaniels 2 fouls early. Right? That's it. That's the path. Get McDaniels 2 fouls and pray.
I mean, McDaniels now doesn't have to. I mean, they may have put him on Porter. Now they're absolutely just putting him on Cam Thomas. So
yeah, no, it's. I'm just saying, like, the Cam Thomas one's interesting. That's the only like new thing I have. I think Mikal is fine at 67. He's had a really good role. We talked to everyone else. I think Coward's hard to get to at this price with Ja Morant back.
Tyrese Martin just jumped to 50%. It's actually still actively adjusting, but as of now, it's like 47, 48%.
And Cam is
27%.
Cam's spiking
and
too.
It's still moving a little bit. Yeah, it's still moving a little bit, but Tyrese Martin just went from 30s to almost 50% on that news.
It's because he's so cheap, and there's a good chance that if in a blowout he's still on the floor. Because I think last night they were weird last night. They didn't play Tyrese Martin in the blowout, but they played Thomas, Mann, and Porter.
Yeah.
Is that not weird? Like, they played in the whole fourth quarter. Why? Why did those players play in the fourth quarter? Martin got 27 minutes.
Playing tonight,
I mean, one of them for sure, at least confirmed right now.
Rivers. Giannis is expected to be available tonight. Thanks, Doc.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
The man who didn't know if Joel Embiid was going to play or not now is saying that Giannis is expected to play. So
hopefully one of the local Milwaukee reporters on TV can we can have a Jermichael Green, Donovan Mitchell moment, right?
Yeah, expected to be available. What does that mean? Expected to be available? Can we get a determinative thing there? So
I love Doc. He always does this.
Anthony Edwards has been out for a little bit, and Nas hasn't gotten more playing time. But maybe in a blowout he could. But even then,
no, I don't think he plays in the blow. I think you just hope that he plays, right? Like you just hope that he gets more time. They're giving look the Gobert minutes and the Randall minutes. Where does Nas Reed fit in?
Yeah.
They're playing Gobert and Nas, or Gobert and Randall like monster. The numbers look great for Nas Reed without Anthony Edwards. Just not playing.
Yeah. All right. Rest of the shooting guard, this Coward. Okay, we talked Jackson already.
Would you be at above, at, or under the Tyrese Martin ownership in large field stuff?
I mean,
barring obviously projecting that he starts again.
Probably at, honestly, because he just opens up so much. I don't really care if he sucks.
I mean, he needs 18 fantasy points.
Yeah.
Anything above that,
If Hendricks starts, would you rather play Hendricks or Martin?
Oh, probably Hendricks, because there's a better pedigree there, and like draft capital and stuff. But I also don't feel completely confident about that either.
Yeah, and obviously different positions. You could play them both. Terrence Mann's a small forward also, and he's getting some ownership. So we'll see. I guess we'll see how this all kind of cracks out as we get closer to roster lock here.
Hey, let me ask you this. Tyrese Martin and Zaire Williams start. Who are you more likely to play?
I mean, my gut instinct is Zaire. We saw Tyrese Martin though be good last year at times. Like
he had that one crazy like 30-point game. Yeah, I think. For the record, I would also go Zaire. He's been a fantasy point per minute this year without Michael Porter. That would be my answer as well. I would feel maybe a little more confident that Tyrese Martin would play in a blowout though.
Sure. Anything else here at shooting guard?
I don't think so.
Okay. Like Duncan Robinson was down there. We touched on him. Trey Johnson. But...
Duncan could be a little better if Tobias ends up sitting.
Okay. Knocking down his shots lately.
He is.
Small forward. You highlighted that there's a certain Celtic that you're high on today. He's around 20% right now. He's a cover of the live show. That's Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I think Jaylen, his ownership was a little lower earlier, but he was the third highest rostered Celtic. I think like Boston being this big of a favorite is a little bit, maybe it's because Utah's on the second leg of a back-to-back, they're traveling, but Boston has not proven that they're this much better than a lot of teams. I'm not saying they're not going to blow Utah out, but also if Markkanen and friends continue to play the way they've played, I really like Jaylen in tournaments. 34.5% usage rate is obviously first on the team by like a significant margin. Every game that Jaylen's basically been extended in, especially the ones lately where there hasn't been a blowout, he has absolutely gone nuclear. 55, 47, 48 fantasy points. He's basically first in usage, but he's first in potential assists. He's third in potential rebounds per game as well. It's a really good fantasy spot for the Celtics' best player, who, again, as we saw earlier in the year, when there's not foul trouble or even went 35, 36 minutes, like Jaylen Brown still plays big minutes. He's going to dominate the basketball, whether or not we want to believe.
I would say you do need to worry a little bit about the blowout. Obviously, Cleveland game aside, 22 minutes if he's dealing with a calf injury.
It's well, of course, but like it's a 12.5 point spread or 10.5 point spread. I think that it's closer than that. I think Utah has, other than last night, which obviously was an abomination, has largely been better this year. And that's because Markkanen and Keontae have played so well. Getting Collier
betting against the Boston Celtics this year. I don't know if you know this, but they can still shoot the lights out occasionally.
Yeah, and Jalen is literally at the forefront of that. He has 3 games this year with 4 made threes, or he has a 30, almost 35% usage rate. Is the 3rd highest rostered Celtic against the 26th ranked defense in a massive pace up spot.
That's where my worry becomes, that they're so poor defensively that the Celtics are just going to get open threes, and this could be a 30-10 first quarter.
But the Celtics defense, but like Markkanen, Keontae has been good enough to score a lot. They've scored a lot of points, especially Laurie scored 29 plus in every game he's played this year.
10's a little low, obviously, but I mean, I could see Boston going up 15 in the first quarter in this game, like just knocking down shot after shot.
I told you it's hard. I am not going to not play Jalen tonight at like lower ownership just because like the spread. There's like 4 games tonight that are 10 plus point spreads. Yeah. I can't eliminate like all the games on the board.
I agree. For me, it's also just a little bit. They're on the second leg of a road back to back, right? So there's a lot more into Utah than some of the other matchups specifically, but I've also seen Boston play poorly this year. So if they don't hit the threes, as we've seen happen, then I agree with you. It could be a more competitive game. So Brown is the highest rostered of these spend ups. Then is Asor Thompson from there. He's checking in around 20% as well at $6,000. So that skips down over Markkanen, Levine, OG, Washington, McDaniels. Got any thoughts on those plays?
Yeah, Markkanen's great in tournaments. He's just scoring the basketball at an elite level. I think Zach LaVine's fine. Another one who's just scoring the basketball at an elite level, just not doing anything else. And we said on the show last night, just hard. You share the floor with Domantas Sabonis, DeMar DeRozan, and Russell Westbrook. You're just not going to be able to do anything else. They're just like, hey, Zach, get a bucket. It's like, all right.
Especially with the last game Sabonis had, where he really put together like that 20-10-10 game, basically.
Yep. And Russ had a double-double in that game too. So it's like, where are the ancillary stats coming from?
Yeah.
They're not available. PJ is in a terrible spot, but like, it is like kind of team to not totally, but like, again, rookie point guard, haven't started D'Angelo. Like it's a really good spot for PJ to stand out in. No, of course. No. Yeah, no, of course. But I'm just saying shot
opportunities will be there for
the opportunity is there. McDaniels, great spot. Can that game stay competitive enough? And Asar, as you mentioned, I mean, the minutes have just been great. They'll really be even more secure if there's no Tobias Harris too. It's willing 3-point shooter. Suddenly the shot volume in general has been really ticking in the right direction. He checks a lot of boxes in this spot.
Who picks up 3 fouls first in this game? Jaren Jackson Jr. or Asor Thompson?
Jalen Duren.
Jalen Duren. Well, let's hope that's not the case. People are playing him. Laurie's 5%, Levine's 1% today. So if we are looking for some tournament leverage off the 20% plays of Brown and Asor, that's certainly a way to go. If you're going a little bit further down the list here, I mentioned from a ownership perspective, it's a lot of value. Tyrese Martin, Taylor Hendricks, Terrence Mann, all there. Tari Eason is getting some value love as well. Jarice Walker, more to the mid-range, all up over like 12-15% range.
Yeah, I wanted to talk the Indiana stuff again, Walker and Nesmith, because it's another opportunity where, Jarice Walker left last game with an injury early, came back, played 30 minutes. Another player who's like kind of shot the ball poorly outside of basically one game this year, but does a lot. Good rebounder, good passer, good playmaker, like secondary ball handler type stuff. And the minutes have been really secure since all these injuries have taken place. I mean, he hasn't played fewer than 26, got over 33 of the 6 games that he's played. And then, there's obviously the GPP side of things. If you don't want to play Walker, you just spend a couple hundred more in player and Nesmith. the roll was too good to begin with. Like 17 and 16 shots in basically the first couple games without Matherin and Nembhard. And he just didn't make shots. And then he continued to not make shots. But look at the minutes in basically every game but Atlanta where they got blown out. 35, 37, 35. And he finally makes shots and he breaks the slate against Golden State, goes nuclear 31 actual. So I think Aaron Nesmith, the role isn't going anywhere. They didn't get healthier. Getting Johnny Furphy and Ray J. Dennis, John, are not exactly like, oh man,
yeah,
Aaron Nesmith has to look out. There's competition. Like, no, he just signed a massive extension. He shot over 40% from three in back-to-back years, and his offensive role is expanding. So I think Jarris Walker is really solid. I think Nesmith in large field stuff is really solid too.
All right. We obviously touched on the net stuff and Hendricks a little bit there. Is there more you want to expand on the value plays here?
Yeah, I mean, Terrence Mann's minutes are probably the most secure of any net, at least on the wing. He's played 30 plus and 3 of 4. I mentioned last night, no reason whatsoever he should have been closing that game. Closed that game, played the final 10 minutes. I mean, he sat for like 4 second half minutes yesterday. He is not like an elite scorer, but the role has ticked up a little bit. At least the scoring has ticked up a little bit, and it will have to be again. I'd be okay with Terrence Mann. I think we had a question. Since you're ignoring everybody in chat, and
I'm not ignoring anybody. We've been bringing them up as they've been going.
I'm just kidding. I think Faisal asked Tyrese Martin over Mann.
So if it matters at all, very small sample size, but with Michael Porter Jr. off the floor this year, Tyrese Martin 0.6 fantasy points per minute, Terrence Mann 0.9 fantasy points per minute. Obviously, Martin's been bad, but basically a very similar sample size of minutes played for the two. Zaire's 1 fantasy point per minute. If you're looking kind of in that range, everybody else is kind of, I mean, they've been a bad team, so everybody else is just pretty poor.
And then you look at usage rate, Tyrese Martin's been higher than both of them. So it's like, it's a tricky one. If Zaire if all 3 of them are starting, the most likely, I guess, to close in a blowout would be Tyrese Martin, but I don't know. They closed with 3 starters last night in a blowout, so who the hell knows? I think Terrence Mann is fine at 41. Zaire starts, he's fine as well. Until we have the starting lineup, oh man, I'm just not confident in like any of it. And a lot of people are playing Brooklyn tonight. It's
nothing like having to stack a bad team, right? Like nothing just filling your lineup with a bad.
The worst team. They are currently, I think, worse than the Pelicans, which, well,
dead last in defensive efficiency. They don't score the basketball.
I guess the net rating, the Pelicans are worse, but that's also because the Pelicans have 3 30-point losses this year.
Sure.
That's half the league's 30-point losses. Yeah, Warren, that's a bugaboo that John and I have talked about. Like, DraftKings needs to fix this stuff. They have done that too often lately. Since they changed their
interface.
Remember
their first interface was like so bad.
So bad.
They were missing missing the stats you wanted. You didn't have like game
no
logs.
Stats. There's no stats. Yeah,
it's terrible.
And Hendricks, you look. Hendricks is like, I expect him to start. I mean, he played really well last night. If he starts, he's definitely in play. Just could they go back to like Laurie at the 4? They could.
Sure. Power forward position then. We mentioned already that Giannis is here, and Doc thinks he'll play. I guess we don't know. I guess even the head coach doesn't really know. Only 15% ownership right now on Giannis. Karl-Anthony Towns is 22%. So those are your top spend ups. Obviously, we were in on Randall earlier. Randall is under 10% now. Thoughts on Randall in this spot now that this game may be more out of hand without MPJ? Do you like him any less than comparatively to Giannis or Towns at the price?
So I love the other two. Oh boy, 8% Julius Randle. If this game can just get Julius Randle the minutes.
I mean, he played 32 in a 17-point win versus Charlotte.
But that extra 4 minutes where like I know that we're chasing Giannis owners, like we're chasing Giannis points, matter so much. And we're chasing Towns, who gets to play center tonight, coming off like 2 monster games in a row. The ownership is what's really appealing, because Julius Randle against the Brooklyn Nets should, in no scenario, should be 8% rostered, right? In no scenario. It's a tough one. I do, because like Towns is getting all this ownership in a game with an even larger spread.
Yeah. I didn't even think that Brooklyn was going to hang with Minnesota, but I would have thought that at least MPJ would have given them a better shot at hanging around. And that's why I was in on Randall as much as I was. I'm still going to probably build some lineups with Randall in it, but I got to rethink now how that game's going to look, because I just don't know where the scoring is going to come from. Cam Thomas could go out and score 50 by himself today, and it won't really matter. But
I mean, the Wizards are on the road, are 12.5-point dogs.
But don't you feel like the Wizards are just? I mean, not even just feeling. They're infinitely more talented than Brooklyn is.
Well, yeah, they're fun. They're like, they have like all the fun young players.
But they also have Middleton, and they have McCollum, who are like stable veterans that you can kind of like trust.
Well, maybe Middleton.
Maybe Middleton, right? Maybe Middleton.
I think that's more of a indictment on the Minnesota offense than it is anything else.
Sure.
Because the Knicks offense is good.
Yeah. Like the offense is for Minnesota is going to run through Randall. So for them to blow out Brooklyn,
right,
he's got to be the one putting up 30 probably.
And all the ownership has basically gravitated to Towns.
Yeah.
Or Pascal, who's getting ownership now. It's like Towns, Pascal, Giannis are getting all the ownership here at power forward. And I think those plays are great. But the one guy that has a monster usage rate without their best player against the 30th ranked defense. But to your point, it just all depends on Brooklyn keeping it close, because if Brooklyn can't keep it close, it doesn't matter. Julius Randle, 28% usage rate without Edwards this year, 1.3 fantasy points per minute. Like, I wish it was a little better, but it's still really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, we've had some big scoring nights out of Jaden McDaniels, right? So that yes. Also kind of takes a little bit away from it, but all of those guys are good. Giannis, Siakam, Randall, Towns, put them in a blender, pick one out. You're probably going to be pretty happy with whatever gets spit out of there for you.
Nice blender reference. I like that.
Thanks. Anything else at power forward in this like mid range?
I mean, the Jabari stuff is very interesting. Like what happens with Jabari? It's an 8 p.m. game. We have 4 of the 7 games tipping off before Houston. If he doesn't play, Tari Eason presumably starts. I guess they could go like do their Steven Adams lineup, but either way, Steven Adams hasn't really played a lot. They might just have Tari Eason gets extended, which we've seen a couple times this year already. And we saw what the Tari Eason extension can look like. 26 minutes, 22 actually. He's been better since the opening night. So nothing like particularly interesting. Like we talked Jarius Walker. I think Bilal Coulibaly's role has looked really good. And Tobias, what happens with Tobias Harris? So like what happens with Toby? What happens with Hart? What happens with Jabari? That's mainly what I'm looking at in the 5K range. I think if Harris sits, Ron Holland starts. If Hart sits, I mean, he's not I don't think he starts anyway, but like McBride is definitely the main candidate to get extended there. Yeah. And then if Jabari sits, Eason and Adams are probably the two. Dude, Naz Reid, Anthony mentioned it earlier, such a good usage rate off the bench. Oh, dude, he's had such a good usage rate off the bench and such a good usage. And like the numbers, like I'm looking at him right here, over fantasy point per minute, 28% usage. He's 27.8. He's 0.2% behind Julius Randle for usage rate without Edwards.
No, dude.
But if he's playing 22, if he's playing 22 minutes, it's like at 5,500, it's tough. Like
it's tough. Last year he was coming off the bench and like giving you some really good numbers, and now he's kind of he's really good from 3 last year, not as good so far from 3.
It's a very interesting tournament play if you like pain and stuff. like that.
Yeah, Jeffrey mentioned the Nas Reed thing. Metz says he's got too many games from Boston, Utah. Too many players from Boston, Utah in his lineup. I mean, you got the right players.
It's a lot of players, but yeah, it's good ones.
It's the right players. If Toby's out, Holland is interesting.
Yeah.
4K for Mets. Anything else here, power forward?
I mean, we talked Hendricks. That would probably be the only thing. Eason might not go there.
Yeah, Minot's getting 10% right now. Jarice is 12.
There's a scenario that Noah Clowney starts.
Clowney was 0.4 fantasy points per minute.
He's been terrible this year. I wouldn't go.
Doesn't mean they can't be good. It just currently has not been good. So.
No.
All right, center then. We had a comment saying that they'd take Jokic twice, including Sunday. I think the comment was. Right here.
Well,
I'll take Jokic twice on Sunday.
Well, it's Monday.
You can always play Nikola Jokic. I'm not going to sit here and tell you.
There's enough. I mean, there's surely enough value. There's undeniably enough value on the slate.
Yep. From a 3-1 ownership perspective, though, Yusuf Nurkic is getting the love again here, all the way down at the value tier. What is he? 48. There he is. 22 minutes, not great. Not great. 9 rebounds is good. Again, I've told you all season long, the Boston's front court is still not good. So, even though they're winning games, they're winning it with guard play. They're not winning it with their front court play. I could see him very easily do the same line. Maybe he low-end double-doubles if he only plays 20 minutes tonight. We've seen guys do that against them. And then we've seen huge games from Jalen Duren when they've been able to hang and the centers get full minutes. Obviously, Towns has had a big game against them. Embiid actually had a really good game against them the second time when he was on his minutes limit there. So, Neemias Queta, Chris Boucher, Xavier Tillman, Luka Garza, that ain't it still for them. So, I see why people are going to Nurkic, but he's not 4K anymore. He's 48.
Yeah, he's not free, but it's not free or not. It's a good play. If he's starting, I would assume in a more competitive game, he plays a little bit more.
Sure. But like I said, he's almost 3-1 on the ownership. Jalen Duren is number 2, and it's a guy I put into that video that you can go find over at Fantasy Alarm today, our top 5 DFS plays. His usage rate is kind of insane.
Yep. We saw last year. Remember when he started, all those assists started ticking up, and we were kind of like, what? And then Bickerstaff was like, we want him to actively take the ball up the floor. Mm-hmm. Like Jalen, grab, rebound, go.
Right.
And he has just done more ball handling stuff. Not so much the assists aren't showing up, but just playmaking for himself too. Mm-hmm. I mean, it also doesn't help or doesn't hurt when your point guard is 18 assists and you are the most athletic person on the floor in basically every gym you step in. So
sure,
that's not changing against Jacques Landale. Let me tell you,
that's what I'm saying. You look at the front court for Memphis here.
Yeah, it's abysmal. It's abysmal.
Triple J's very foul happy, and look who's been getting to the line a ton of late. So they get him down in the post there
and making them knock on wood.
Yeah. So I love Duren. Warren loves Duren as well. A lot of great opportunities price-wise for him. But again, I also think Şengün can go out tonight against Dallas and just do whatever he wants to do against his front court.
Yeah. I mean, he's doing that against everyone's front court. He's doing it against OKC's front court, and they don't allow that to happen, Şengün's taking a leap, and he actively wants to get triple doubles. I don't know if
I did. I saw
how he's like, I need one more, telling everyone, get me this assist. Good to know.
Yeah.
And we've seen this for years. The last 4 years, it's oh, this dude is a great passer.
And look what Dallas is going to put on the floor. It's Daniel Gafford, who we also know is a very foul-happy center, and then Dwight Powell.
Yeah. I mean, PJ playing small ball 5. It's just an elite spot for Şengün across the board. And I don't. No one really plays him. He's never really highly owned. I
He's
think
kind of, well, the thing is, it's the price. I think he's kind of stuck in that
yes.
like Sabonis no man land, like he was like a couple years ago,
Yes.
where he's like, all right, for a little bit more, I can just play Jokic, or there's this value mid tier guy that's in a smash spot, i.e. Duran or something like that you just go play, and then you don't spend the $9,000 in Şengün, and then at the end of the night, you're like, damn, you had 65 fantasy points. Why didn't I go there? You know.
Yep.
That said, he is getting 15% tonight. He and Claxton, another mid tier option. Claxton, a little bit of ownership there. With the Ren. So, but everybody's just playing Yusuf Nurkic. So the ownership's kind of jumped together. But as we talked about with like a low rostered Giannis-ish, low rostered Cade, nobody loves playing a 10% Jokic more than you, James. And that's kind of where we're at right now.
Yeah, it's a tough one for me. Because I like a lot of mid-tier plays tonight. You know, I'm usually the low-owned Jokic whisperer, like you said. I'm not ever going to be the person to not tell you to play a low in Jokic. It's impossible. How can you look at that person and be like, why would I not want to play him at 8%?
He's a little overpriced, but
the problem is that he's not Giannis officially available, by the way.
Yeah.
The problem is the shot volume. That's been the problem.
Yeah.
He's not shooting. So like everything else has been
great.
Status quo, right?
And he makes his shots when he does take them. But at 12K, 60 is 5x. For tournaments, we really want 7 to 8.
Yep.
So if we're not getting 80 at 12K almost, or 75 at 12K, you might be a little under the field there.
It's a great spot. You know, Sacramento's bottom 10 defense officially ranking. Where did I see them? They are. Where did I see? What am I missing? Sacramento. They're 27th. Holy cow. They're like a pretty fast playing team. It's a great spot. You get low in Jokic, and he goes for 80. You're mad, or you don't play a low in Jokic and he goes for 80, especially when someone like me, I play him every slate, especially every time he's low owned or owned. I just play Jokic.
Yeah.
You're going to kick yourself for it. So, yeah, I mean, I think center's a pretty good, like 3-tiered position. Jokic, Şengün at the top, Duran, Gobert. I really like Gobert in the mid-tier. The minutes have been crazy for Rudy Gobert lately. Claxton in the mid-tier, I think looks really good. And then you have the Nurkic like value option. There's a lot to like here.
Sure. Yeah, Claxton's obviously playing really well. This is what we had hoped to see from him last year, but they were kind of dogging his minutes for a lot of the season. So it was difficult to really trust him night in, night out. Any other value centers outside of Nurkic for you?
No. No.
Yeah. Time to build a lineup. Before we do, though, Grande, I just want to say thanks to everybody out there. We officially crossed the 10,000.
Nice. Hell yeah. Thank you.
We are at 10,005.
Nice.
So
let's go. A lot of you subscribe. I saw somebody commented on the show earlier and said, "Oh, forgot to subscribe."
Joe's Madness.
Yep, Joe's Madness. Joe's not mad anymore. Joe is smart now. Joe's smartness.
DFS Geek said, let's get us to 10K. Well, you did. You guys got us there. We appreciate
Thank you guys.
it. Craig L, trying to get everybody to hit the join button. I appreciate that, Craig. Love our members of the Fantasy Alarm YouTube channel. Getting those question priorities, emojis, and badges there. All right. So, Jackson, I imagine, right?
Yeah. Tyrese Martin now the highest rostered player of the slate. Oh boy.
I know. Probably gotta just play him. Do we do him or man? I guess is the question. Do we fade the chalk? Just play a better man.
I mean, Terrence Mann has proven to be better, but Tyrese Martin obviously presents a little more value.
Okay.
Thanks, Rolly. Appreciate it. See you on the in the single entry leaderboards tonight. I always see your logo there.
All right, so if I did Cade, Jackson, man, that's 6,200.
Duran, would you double tap Detroit? It's a great spot for them, man.
I really, they were both in my video. So I'm 100% 100% in on that. I'll just link the video in the chat to you. So after the show, everybody can go check this out.
And then Rollins, and then we leave it there.
Yeah, get Rollins in. All right. $6,100 power forward utility. As you guys know, we will put the full lineup in the Discord.
I was pointing at Snipe. It was a good in celebration. I said on the leaderboards in celebration. That was a good. It was a good correction there.
Full lineup will go in our Discord. It's free to join the Discord. If you want the premium channel access, you got to become a member of the Fantasy Alarm All Pro family. As you see, we got a couple of promos. NBA 20 gives you 20% off each month forever. Or if you just want to try us out for the first month, fantasyalarm.com/win. Promo code WIN will save 50% off that first month. So the first month for $19.99, you'll get premium access to that as well. FK said Cade. Yeah, we're playing Cade, man.
Who's Cade? Does he play basketball?
Cade Cunningham. We're in.
We're
in Cade Cunningham. So yeah, full line will be there. Appreciate you all tuning in. We'll be back with the preview show tonight. Appreciate the support. Good luck. We'll see you later.